class, we talked about how to find the slope of an equation, or find the slope of a line. When we are looking for the slope of a line and the y-intercept, we can write our slope-intercept equation. And if you look down here, you'll realize this is our non-proportional equation. We can write this as a proportional equation if we have no b value, because b would be 0 going through the origin. So let's go through this vocabulary really quick so that we can take this information and create an equation from multiple representations. So if you remember, slope, we're going to put m here. Slope is the constant rate of change. Okay, so in a graph on your notes that you did the other day, aka slope, this is going to be rise over run. In a table, this is going to be change in y over change in x. So our second piece we're going to talk about now is y-intercept, and this actually has the letter b for the y-intercept. If you think of it, it is the beginning of the graph. It is going to be, this is the 0 b value in a table. Okay, in a graph, this is where the line crosses the y-axis. And we'll see examples of all of this. Slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals m times x plus b, where y and x, these stay variables. Okay? The m and the b we're going to put numbers in place of. So that's what we're going to look at doing today. So here is again our slope-intercept equation where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. Remember, it can be proportional or non-proportional. Also remember, in our Venn diagram that we put in our journal, slope is applicable to both non-proportional and proportional situations. So, write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form with the given slope and y-intercept. So we are simply plugging in numbers. Slope is our m, y-intercept is our b, so we are going to leave y and x, y and x, and we are going to plug a number in place of m. Our m is 3, and our b is -5. So what that would look like on a graph is I would start way down here at -5, and we'll look at one of these in a minute. And I can also write this as 3 over 1. Remember, that is our rise, 1, 2, 3 over 1. And there is my line. Let's try another one. So again, remember, we're simply plugging in right now m and b. So this is going to be y equals 2x minus 6. Now, both of these equations have positive slope, so they are going to be going up. This one, number 3, is an example of, so this one is negative in the slope, and now the y-intercept is positive. So you need to make sure you're paying attention to your signs. So we just need to make this 6 a negative. And again, on these whole numbers, if you wanted to put a 1 underneath, because that's our rise over run, you could definitely do that. Times x plus 1/2. Now, we talked a while back about fractions. We need to leave slope as a fraction. All right, so let's make a little note. Slope is a whole number because we can very easily make that into a fraction, or a fraction. And that means that it can be proper or improper. We do not want a mixed number, okay, because we cannot count rise over run on a mixed number. So be very cautious with that. I would like for you to try 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to leave the answers with the for that, and we'll check it tomorrow. So let's look at this in a table. So up here, I've given you all the information you need. But what if I give you a table and you have to pull out that information? So we need to make sure, first we're going to look for the y-intercept. And remember, the y-intercept is where x is 0. We want that y value or that beginning value. And you can see that here. So the y-intercept, the b is 6. And then you need to count your slope. And we practiced that in tables on our notes the other night. So remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x. Well, let me see how the y's are changing. So this is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So I'm going to put that on the top. And then how are my x's changing? My x's are going down. That means this is a negative. So minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. Now, this simplifies, so I need to make sure I write this, or I'm going to go ahead and simplify it over here, as 1 over negative 2. Now, this negative can be in the top, in the bottom like this, or sometimes you see it in the middle. So be aware, as long as one piece of it is negative, you're good to go. Now you can write your equation. If you do not simplify your slope, or even your y-intercept, if it is a fraction, it will not be correct. So this means that our graph is going to start at 6, and it is going to go down. Sometimes our y-intercept is not in the table, so we're going to have to find our slope. So I'm adding 3 on my x's. I'm adding 2 on my y's. So again, remember, slope is change in y over change in x. So my y's are changing by 2, and my x's are changing by 3. That cannot simplify. Now, 0 is not, x is not 0 here. But if I continue my pattern, if I go say something plus 3 is 3, well, 0 plus 3 is 3. That means down here I need to also continue my pattern. So something plus 2 is 3. Well, I know that is 1. This is my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, 1 as a coordinate, which means my b is 1. And now I can write that equation. Okay? I would like for you to try these, and again, I'll show you the answers tomorrow in class. I do want you to notice that the b value is on the first 2. This one is trying to trick you. This is not the b value. This is not your y-intercept. This would be an x-intercept. Remember, your b value is going to be where your x is 0, and then you have a number for y. This has y is 0. So you're going to need to follow the pattern, like the example we just did, and go back to 0 to find that. On this graph, find the y-intercept on the y-axis, which would be way down here. So this is going to be your b value. And then you're going to count rise over run. So we're looking for dots. And remember, when we did this before, it doesn't matter which dots you count between. They chose these two, 1, 2, 3. Remember, up and right is positive, and down and left is negative. So this is a positive 3, and I'm going to the right, so this is a positive 1. So my b was negative 3. My slope is 3 over 1, or 3. So when they wrote the equation, y equals 3 from my m, x, and my b was a negative 3. So we're going to practice this down here. So on number 10, right, I like to start with my y-intercept personally. So I'm going to go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4. This is positive 5. This is my b value. And notice my slope is going down. When we did rate of change, aka slope, I know this is going to be a negative slope. I'm going to count 1, 2. They've given us 2 points. We can just count between those. 3, 4, and I went down, so this is a negative 4. Over to the right, 2, so that's a positive 2. So my slope is -4 over +2. And I know that simplifies to -2. You can also write -2 over 1. So y equals -2x, and this is a +5. That is our equation. Here, they give us the b. My b is 1, and again, this is going down, so my slope is negative. 1, 2, 3, so -3, and write +1, so -3 over 1. Again, you can write this as -3. So y equals -3x plus 1. I'm going to let you do this one. The numbers got hidden. I'm going to let you try 12 because it's also a negative slope, but I want to show you one with a positive slope. So I'm going to go ahead and do 13, and you can do 12 and 14 and 15. This one has a b value way down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a -6 b value. This one is going up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So rise 3, run 1, which simplifies to 3. So y equals 3x minus 6. I would like you to finish these, and again, I'll show you the answers tomorrow, how we're doing, so that then you can go through and make sure that you're understanding, and we'll answer any questions.